Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Lynchburg. We are glad you are here. Whoever you are, whatever your beliefs, whatever your age, and whomever you love, you are welcome here. As we work together for justice, compassion, and peace, we also acknowledge with humility that our buildings sit on Monacan land. We have some special welcoming words this morning for our in-gathering. This is from the Reverend Alice Palm. We gather this morning on the brink of a new congregational year. Some of us come fresh from summer adventures, from wind and waves and sunshine. Some of us come broken down from summer losses, from tears and pain and heartache. Some of us come renewed from summer rest, from peace and solitude and contemplation. Some of us come wearied from summer monotony, from work and heat and sameness. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever gifts and needs you bring, you are welcome here. My name is Courtney Senna. I'm the Director of Lifespan Engagement for this congregation. If you are with us for the first time, we are glad you chose to be here this morning to participate in the service for this congregation we love. If you would like to receive our monthly newsletter and Friday email updates, please fill out the virtual visitor card found on our website at uulynchburg.org under Sunday Services, or fill out the yellow card found in the back of the chair in front of you and place it in the offering basket during the offering. Our free little library is very popular. Please feel free to donate books any time of the year, used or new, especially children's books. We are currently out of donations. Donations will be kept in U-House to stock the little free library that is in front of U-House when it runs low. Thank you for contributing to those who love to read. We give our many thanks and admiration to Molly McLennan, who reworked the information pockets on the back of our chairs. So please notice what good work she has done and take a moment to say thank you, Molly. Don't forget to join us after the service for social time. Those of us in the sanctuary will gather in Drysdale Hall, and those of you on Zoom will have a coffee social hour on Zoom. Now I invite us to release our worries about the world and our own lives as we enter into the service by taking some slow, calming breaths.
As we begin, let's wave good morning, those of us in the sanctuary, to our Zoomies. Wave good morning to our roomies. It's wonderful to be gathered here. And we've got our subtitles up, and so far it's been an interesting morning when it started talking about sin and said that I was the Annunciation. So, you know, it's got its own mind today. Huh? Oh, that's great. Yay, they must have changed. So, each morning we light the chalice of our faith, and I invite us to share together our chalice lighting words, which you may know, or they're in the cover. Yay, there they are up there. Thank you, Miley and David. May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, O Spirit of life. This summer, we've had so many experiences that we bring to our time together. Traditionally, Unitarian Universalists share a water communion during an in-gathering service, remembering summer adventures. We are aware of the dangerous effects of climate change and the reality that clean water is essential not only for human life, but for all life. Water flows through all things. Who we are, our sustenance and survival, even our emotions are tied to water in all her shapes and moods. Each day, we need to hold gratitude for water. So it seems appropriate today to share together the hymn, Peace Like a River. And it is number 100, but the words will be up on the screen, and I think everybody knows the melody, so you can try to brave it without hymnal. And there are a couple of new verses that you colleagues and other congregations have contributed. So I invite you to rise and body your spirit. Lovely movements to those verses. We take an offering of our gifts for the work of this community, both within our walls and in the larger community. And we appreciate your generosity. We accept your gifts generously given and greatly received. In my mind, when I think about rain or water, I think that what I see belongs to me. It's my water, my community's water, and good grief, when I was living in Georgia, 3 states fought over whose water it was. But we know that water flows around the world and is shared by all life. So today we're going to share the story of the rhythm of rain. So as you're watching it, think about the water that you enjoy this summer from many different places, beginning in your sink. Where did it come from, and where will it all go?
Playing in his The Rhythm of the Rain by Graham Baker Smith.
We can't hear it, David.
Isaac was playing in his
Stop
favourite
it,
pool
David, and
on the
raise
side of his favourite mountain.
That's going to be something you're going to have to deal with in the sanctuary because I'm hearing it through Zoom, so that's as much as I can do.
Okay. All right. Okay, thanks. Thank you, David.
The Rhythm of the Rain by Graham Baker Smith. Isaac was playing in his favourite pool on the side of his favourite mountain. He felt spots of rain on his cheek and looked up to see clouds turning dark above him. As the rain poured down, it made little streams that ran out of Isaac's pool. He emptied his jar of water into the pool too, and raced the laughing streams down the mountainside. He watched as they joined the river that ran past his home to plunge down a waterfall. Somewhere in all that tumbling is my little jar of water, Isaac thought. As the river went on, it got deeper and wider. Creatures came out of the woods to drink and to wash, and fish leapt high out of the swelling water, happy to see the rain. On and on the river flowed, winding through the country, winding through the city, and everywhere it went, people and creatures found a use for it. Eventually, it joined the great ocean. Isaac stood in his boat and waved goodbye to the river. Where will my little jar of water go now? He wondered. The ocean has many moods. It is home to many things. A great whale opens its huge mouth to feed and swallows some of the water from Isaac's pool. Later, by the light of the moon, the whale rises and blows a great fountain into the starry night. The water falls like rain back into the sea. It flows with the currents that run like rivers, deep, deep down where the sun cannot shine, and rises to ride the storm all night long to another part of our blue water world. In the calm morning, the sun turns the waves golden. The ocean steams beneath the heat and climbs as a mist into the sky. The mist cools and gathers into a cloud that floats over a mountain in a country far, far away from Isaac's pool. The clouds let go their gift of water. They fill the pool where a little girl plays. Cassie has been thirsty for days, and she drinks gratefully. Down the mountain, the river runs. Where it goes, the earth turns green. Elephants and giraffe, flamingos and zebra celebrate the return of the rain. On and on the river runs back to the sea, where a giant squid, surprised by a shark, cleverly creates a cloud of ink and, sucking in the sea, jets away under cover to safety. Once more, as it has done for millions of years, the sun heats the ocean and the water rises as steam into the sky, where it forms into clouds. Once more, as it has done for millions of years, the rain falls on the land. And thirsty flowers draw the wandering water into themselves, waving like bright flags around the pool where Isaac plays.
Water went all around the world. And our children now are going to the back, and you've got watercolors and paper to create your own visions of where the water that you saw this summer or this morning. You can create art from watercolors. So I invite our young people to go to the table in the back where you can have fun.
Artistic or creative this morning, you are welcome to join us in the back as well.
Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be ageist.
That's all right.
It is our tradition to share in the midst of our community. From birth until death, we are beloved and embraced by the communities we choose for ourselves. We hold up today the suffering in the world, especially in those areas where war and genocide are taking place. We hold up also those who in every country, in every time, speak the truth to power and stand up for those who are suffering. May we, as we live the values of our faith, find the work that is ours in the world so that we may be those who help transform our world into a beloved community. We hold up especially those in our lives who we've lost by illness or suffering. May we know that there are those around us who send us love and care. We give thanks for the opportunity to be part of a community of different generations and ages and interests, where we can continue our search for spiritual and religious truth and find a community that accepts us for who we are. This we ask in the name of all that is sacred. Amen. Blessed water, source of life. We share our water today from home, from our favorite places. Water that flows clear and cool from mountaintops. Water that comes in rolling waves, caressing the shores and returning to the sea. Water that rises in springs from deep beneath the earth's surface. Water that falls gentle and warm, or in sudden downpours from cloud-filled skies. Blessed water, source of life, we honor the gathering of water today, not because of its individual sources, but because it is gathered here in this place. It is the act of mingling our separate lives, our personal encounters with life-giving waters. We symbolize the coming together of this body of blessing and hope, this body of joy and commitment. As these waters are joined, so too are we. We offer our blessing upon this coming together of people and water, a blessing upon our intentions as we gather in celebration week to week and month to month. May our connections be as these drops of water, gently held in the common space of our community love. May we find in this place refreshment, rejuvenation, sustenance, cleansing, and restoration. Aware as we are of the power of water to both create and destroy, we're often humbled when we remember how water shapes our experiences and our memories. The lack of water affects us also. Dry gardens like we had this summer, shrinking glaciers, which some of us saw this summer, and disappearing lakes. We long to protect water. From birth to death, our lives are nurtured by water. And so today, we bring water to share and merge, honoring our life's experiences. So I invite us to come forward as we are so moved. If you didn't bring any water today, then I call these 2 pitchers with water the artificial water because they're just from the kitchen tap. But if you didn't bring special water, then we've got stand-in water. And of course, the first water that we add each year is some water from previous water communion rituals. You said it did not smell, Kim. It's well loved. It's alive water. It's not as bad as the Okefenokee water, but anyway, it's sacred water, added first. And so I invite you, as you're so moved, to come forward to add some water to this. Tell us your name and where it's from. And if you didn't bring any, there's plenty to share.
Okay. Also testing the mic. My name's John Phillips. My wife Trudy and I hosted our 11-year-old grandson for a trip of Western-oriented parks, starting in Kentucky with Mammoth Cave. We visited Jewel Cave. We visited the Badlands, and we wound up climbing a 12,000-foot peak in Wyoming that was our favorite. We did all of this in a little 2.5-man travel trailer, And this is, the water is from the integrated water of that trip from what was left in the tank of the travel trailer.
Bob and Makana Morris. This water is actually a little bit of water from our rain gauge. There wasn't much. And the rest from our pond, which is low right now, despite the fact that it is silting in more these days because of the fact that the water, when it comes in downpours that washes silt into the pond. So it reinforces our desire to be active with Citizens Climate Lobby and to do whatever we can to slow down the pace of climate change.
I would just add that the pond nourishes many beings, and the weekend that Cameron and Angela got married, we had a great white egret visit the pond, which is a really nice symbol, and drank from the pond water.
Hi, I'm Betty Corbin, and I'm going to let this water represent two things. 6 of us from this congregation made a pilgrimage to Charles Mill Lake Dam near Mansfield, Ohio, to see the total eclipse. Out of the 3 sites reserved, 2 were underwater. And the other thing this water represents is not representation, it's from our spring. A spring that's run for I don't know how long. Our neighbor said 40 years when we moved in 30 years ago. And so that spring water nourishes us. What we don't use goes into Little Possum Creek, maybe Beaver Creek, I'm not sure, and then it's on to the James River into the Chesapeake Bay.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Ashton. We're new here. My partner George is in the other room giving our baby some food, so he's quieter. I didn't source anything interesting because we've been moving, but I brought my son's sippy cup because that kind of represents how water has affected my life this year because he's about a year old. So this is how we've been giving him his water, and I thought it would be a good contribution.
I'm Michael Corbin, Betty's husband. The water I bring today was collected from the Yukon River about 6 miles north of the Arctic Circle in 2019. And it's here today rather than at the water ceremony in fall of 2019 because we were out of town that weekend. And then the next year we forgot about it. And then after that was the pandemic anyway. So it's taken a little while for it to get here. And that reminds me of I guess a joke that I heard. You know that human beings were invented by water as a means of transportation.
Hi, I'm Chuck. Believe it or not, Barb didn't want to come up here. So. But this year, what did we do? Barb and I went and, to our annual thing out in Oregon along the Long Tom River, and were there a few days. And then after that, we went to Alaska with Terry and Becky. And I thought the highlight of that trip was seeing the glaciers in the Juneau area. Very, the color of the icebergs, the blue, is something kind of indescribable. And then we, later in August, we went up to the Finger Lakes and to see Steve Glenn and his family, and there are a lot of waterfalls up there, a lot of them, so thanks.
Morse again, and this sort of goes back to, touches on what I mentioned earlier. The only masses of water that we've seen much of this year is the waters off the coast of Savannah, Georgia. And it brought back many memories of going out on their small boat with my sister and her husband and going to these pristine offshore beaches and venturing down to the city of downtown Savannah and so on. So that's a good memory. Lots of good memories.
Sorry. So our water doesn't represent any trip because we spent the summer in borrowed vehicles, which I'm very grateful for. So we did enjoy the city pool. We enjoyed the Yoder slip and slide. And especially we enjoyed the big slip and slide that the city put together down one of the streets in town. And then I'd also like to suggest that a little bit of this pour is in memory of my cousin Ryan, who passed away, with whom I spent many a summer weekend during the 1970s in Dunnings Creek in Bedford County, Pennsylvania. Thank you.
Finished Southworth. I didn't bring the water, but it's we were in it. Chautauqua Lake, New York, where we went to watch the solar eclipse this year. I grew up on Chautauqua Lake in the 50s and 60s, and so it was good to go back. In high school, my brother had a 12-foot aluminum boat with a 15-horse motor, and we used to go up and down that lake regularly, so probably at least once a week, and we could stop anywhere along the lake and have a Coke or visit or fish or whatever. So it was good to be back to the lake, good to see the eclipse. And my sole remaining aunt and uncle were there also. We invited them over to join us at the Airbnb. He's only 91, so he's doing very well. And she's only in her 80s, so she's quite young. So anyway, we had a great time, and it was good to be on the lake again. For those of you who don't know, Chautauqua Lake is the highest landlocked lake in the United States at 1,320 feet, and it's only 10 miles from Lake Erie, but it's 1,000 feet above it. It's spring-fed, drains into the Chattacoin River, drains into the Allegheny, which ends up joining the Monongahela and Pittsburgh and ending up in the Ohio River. So, see you later.
I'm Molly McLennan, and I bring water from pitcher from Susie, which was at Radford this year. Susie is the Southeast Unitarian Universalist Summer Institute. It was a week-long event. It was a chance to see old friends that I've known for a long time and to meet new friends and to hear a lot of you talk and be inspired again. So I'm glad to share it with you.
Harry? Hello? Harry?
Hey, yeah.
This is my third water communion, and I have never once remembered to bring water or even collect it at any point in the year. But today I am just remembering all the fun times we've had at our apartment swimming pool. There's a lazy river, a hot tub, and a swimming pool, and it's awesome. We really love it every summer when it opens. And Rudy there in the back, me and my wife, Shannon, have had Rudy over a few times and had a great time at the pool. So just wanted to celebrate that.
Hello, Dick wanted to say something.
So many
Harry?
wonderful experiences. Colleen, would you like to come up? Yeah, sorry. I sprang up too quick.
I just wanted to think about all of the times that we went down to the river, my children and I, this summer. Times with the kids, times alone, times with the cranes. Going to borrow a little bit of the river silt for our fish tank, which is something that we keep, and so we keep water in the house all the time. Thank you.
Adieu.
I've got amazing adventures we have in our homes, in our community. Okay, Lori, was that you? And Dick?
I know Dick wants to share something. I'm
ready.
going to go first.
Lori?
Okay. This is water from tap. You probably say, well, big deal. But this water has been filtered and it's clean. And I have contact with people in Uganda. So many people there are sick from the water that they have. They don't have filtered water, and we are so blessed to have this water. So thank you for all those people who instituted all the water filtering in this country. Thank you.
Thank you, Dick, for reminding us to add water that is clean and pure, whereas so many people around the world don't have access to clean water. Lori?
Yeah, I was thinking this along the same lines of how we can take it for granted, the water in our home.
I can barely hear you.
I was saying that I was thinking about how we take for granted the water in our home, like Dick was saying, our clean running water. And I've been thinking about how restorative it's been for me and for my mother as she was passing. It was the one thing that gave her comfort was a cool cloth on her head. And I just had to go to the bathroom to get the water to give her some comfort. So it's something we definitely take for granted, but I also want to mention this beautiful plant that was given to us at her memorial, Patricia's memorial, and I get to water it whenever it needs a little drink. And it's just so simple. So I'm very grateful to have clean, running, accessible water in my home.
What a blessing. From birth to death, water blesses us. And I think today we would be remiss if we didn't weave into this service of remembrance and blessing the tears of parents and families who have lost their children, their partners, their fathers, their mothers. We are so blessed and so vulnerable. All human life is. It depends on water. And in that spirit, I'd like for us to celebrate our community that's shared here, and also our awareness that we can make a difference. We can care for the water that's around us, for our community. Organizations like the Citizens Climate Lobby can help us speak out. So I decided that one of my favorite songs would be an appropriate closing hymn. And we can sing the verses, the chorus. It's by Tom Chapin, Harry Chapin's brother, if you remember Harry Chapin. And it reminds us that somebody is going to use this water after we use it. So let's enjoy Tom Chapin, and the words of the chorus will be up there.
stand at the sink, did you ever think about the water running down the drain? That it used to be in the deep blue sea, and before that it was rain. Then it turned to snow for an Eskimo to use in a snowball fight. Then it floated south till it reached your mouth to help you brush your teeth tonight. Someone's gonna use it after you. Someone needs that water when you're through. 'Cause the water, land, and air, these are things we've got to share. Someone's gonna use it after you. When you sneeze like thunder, did you ever wonder if the air you set in motion might have helped to form a tropical storm way out in the Western Ocean? Could have been blown out of a blue whale spout as he dove beneath the seas. And now that air is in your care till you're finished with your steam. Someone's gonna use it at you. Someone needs to breathe it when you're through. 'Cause the water, land, and air, these are things we've got to share. Someone's gonna use it after you. Like a wheel, the world is turning, forest green and sky of blue. It will turn that way forever as the old is born anew. Someone's gonna use it after you. So leave it as you'd like it when you're through. 'Cause the water, land, and air, these are things we've got to share. Someone's gonna use it after you. Someone's gonna use it after you. So leave it as you'd like it when you're through. 'Cause the water, land, and air, these are things we've got to share. Someone's gonna use it after you.
As our service draws to a close, we extinguish the flame of our chalice as we say these words together. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And let's, Zoomies, can you say goodbye to our roomies? Roomies, can you say goodbye to our Zoomies? It's been wonderful being together. Our closing words of blessing are from Rosemary Traumer. I wish you the peace that comes when we trust ourselves to meet whatever life brings. I wish you love beyond happy endings, the kind of love that seeps into everything, no matter where the story goes. Blessed be. Amen. enjoyed peace and social time both on Zoom and in the social hall.